Storm Dragon by Joey Curtis and Danny Klein. In darkness, an intelligent country boy, Luther, 10, speaks his piece.
It's hard to know which came first, dragonfly or mosquito. The only thing certain is that we would not be here without him. The dragonflies on him.
Fade in, exterior, marsh, dawn. Luther stands on the edge of a peaceful stream, looking through cheap binoculars in earnest, spying on the dragonflies and mosquitoes who live there.
Since the beginning, dragonflies have been mystical people, protectors. When the storms come, rain floods our town, leaving slimy water for millions of nasty mosquitoes to lay eggs in. This swamp becomes a war zone, in which heroic dragonflyers battle swarms of bloodthirsty skeeters. These skeeters, as we call them, make Packota sick. But the dragonflies zoom in and help. Without dragonflies, all of us might go extinct.
Luther steps too close to the bank of the stream. His foot slips in, submerging his worn-out sneaker in the mud.
Aw, man. Wrecked my best kicks.
He steps out of the mud and limps home. Angle on the mud. Water from the stream fills in Luther's footprint until clean, smooth ripples flow again. Out of those ripples, the title appears, Storm Dragon. The title drifts away as we travel beneath the surface of the peaceful stream. We follow a school of dragonfly nymphs. They are pale, gray tadpoles searching for breakfast. The mature nymphs gobble tiny flakes of algae that drift all around them, while the smaller nymphs struggle to find food. Skylar, an adolescent female nymph, stops and shares her breakfast with the smaller nymphs. They feed, but one small nymph is left out. Skylar gathers more algae and feeds the straggler lovingly. The small nymph rejoins the other nymphs. Skylar watches them play with pride. She looks up to see the surface of the stream, shimmering with golden sunlight. She gathers her courage and ascends above the surface. Skylar breathes fresh air for the first time. Her brown eyes turn emerald green and sparkle with wonder. She sees a fiery orange sun rising over the stream. A large maple tree stands tall on the shoreline. Families of dragonflies dart about its branches. It is their home. Skylar hears a cacophony of sound, mostly predators, mockingbirds, bullfrogs, and bumblebees. A railway train whistles in the distance. An 18-wheeler barrels down a highway. A passenger plane rumbles overhead. Skylar trembles. Anything could be out there. 3 mature nymphs emerge beside her.
Wow! Look at that sky! We're gonna be up there today.
We're gonna be dragonflyers. I can't wait to get my wings.
Yeah, and I'm gonna touch a cloud.
Skylar trembles with anxiety.
But the sky is so big. What if we get lost?
Oh, come on, Skylar. The maple tree is right there. The dragonfliers would never let us get lost.
But my mom told me that the world's bigger than the maple tree. She said the sky never ends.
We hear a high-pitched buzz approaching. Skylar and the nymphs turn to see a swarm of hungry mosquitoes flying right at them. They dip beneath the surface, then look up. We see through the rippling water as the mosquitoes zip past. A squadron of dragonflies chases them on the surface of the stream. They are the Swamp Squad, composed of a colorful array of iridescent dragonflies that shine like flying jewels. The flight lieutenant, Flame Skimmer, a fiery amber battle-worn dragonfly, addresses his commanding officer.
Flame Skimmer to Pondhawk! Flame Skimmer to Pondhawk! We're coming up over Stinger Ridge. Target is in sight. We got multiple skeeter swarms, and those bloodsuckers look thirsty.
A blanket of mosquitoes covers the surface of the stream up ahead. The wing commander, Pondhawk, a muscular, broad-winged, yellow and black spiked-tailed dragonfly, darts to the front of the squadron with the bravado of John Wayne.
Copy that, Flame Skinner. Pondhawk has a visual. All right, Swamp Squad, this is what you've been training for since day you got wings. Let's sweep the stream clean and mean.
Mosquitoes bite! Swamp Squad fight!
Tighten up your formation and set up for our attack run.
Okay, you heard the commander. Drop your wing speed and Throx color to stealth mode, and we'll beat a path around the rim. The mosquitoes ain't gonna know what hit 'em, boys.
The dragonflies quit beating their wings in unison, then glide. Their bodies turn gold, camouflaging against the stream. The sound of old-time blues howls in the distance. This grabs the attention of 2 teen dragonflies at the rear of the formation. Tatsu, Pondhawk's only son, is a smaller-than-average green darner locked in rigid formation. His best friend, Bee-Fly, a blue hawker with a $1 million smile, flits about beside him, unruly.
You hear that sound, Tatsu? The old-timer's singing the blues again.
Yeah, I hear it, Bee-Fly, but there's no time for tunes right now, dude.
But that old-timer's blues get my wings buzzing. You gotta get closer so I can peep his technique.
Tatsu spots a guitar strumming old-timer, Papa Otis, sitting on the porch of his rundown house. The ornery old man wears an American flag bandana beneath a black cowboy hat.
I like his music too, buddy, but if we don't clear these mosquitoes, they'll eat him alive. And then he'll be really singing the blues.
Oh, come on, Tatsu. Swamp Squad stuck us in the rear of the formation again. We don't matter to them. They won't even miss us.
I hear you, but...
Pondhawk zips between them.
Cut the chatter, you two. You're going to tip off our position to the enemy.
Yes, Father. I mean Pondhawk, sir.
Commander Pondhawk, sir?
What is it, Hawker?
Blue Hawker Bee-Fly, requesting permission to buzz the bamboo to check for possible mosquito ambush.
Negative, Hawker. Permission denied.
Glares at Tatsu.
Don't even think about breaking formation, son, or I'll tie your wings in a sling so tight you need a piranha to chew 'em loose.
Yes, sir.
Pondhawk darts back to the front of the formation.
Okay, Swamp Squad, keep it tight and out of sight. Prepare to dive on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The entire squadron of dragonflies descends to the surface of the stream. They spread into an attack formation.
Wings up, tails in, lock in, dragon vision.
We see through the eyes of the dragonflies a 360-degree heat-sensitive field of vampiric mosquitoes. To himself,
So much for surprise attack.
to the dragonflies.
Swamp Squad, supersonic on your mark.
Pondhawk turns to Tatsu and winks. Tatsu nods, ready to go. Pondhawk beats his wings so fast they glow, then shouts the battle cry of their species.
Odinata!
Odinata!
The dragonflies bolt toward the mosquitoes at full speed. They zigzag in every direction, displaying flight patterns so complex it is no wonder that aeronautical engineers have studied their wings since the dawn of flight. Pondhawk flies directly into the swarm of mosquitoes, swinging his tail, swatting them out of the sky.
First dragonfly to swat 10,000 makes the Hall of Fame.
The squad exchanges baseball banter as they swat mosquitoes.
Deep shot to the left center!
Could go all the way.
That's out of here.
Flame Skimmer and a team of basket tails glides further downstream. Tatsu and Bee-Fly bring up the rear. A bullfrog leaps out of the water, snapping his sticky tongue like a whip. Flame Skimmer takes evasive action.
Frogger bogey, 11 o'clock!
The basket tails scatter. A second bullfrog breaches the surface, snatches Bee-Fly, then dives underwater.
Bee-Fly, no!
Tatsu hovers above the surface, paralyzed by fear. He needs help, but Flame Skimmer and the basket tails are already chomping another swarm of mosquitoes. He turns around looking for Pondhawk and the spiked tails.
Dad, I mean Pondhawk, help!
They are too busy knocking mosquitoes out of the park to notice him. Tatsu looks down into the water, strains to see something, anything, and there he is, Bee-Fly, fighting for his life against two hungry bullfrogs. Tatsu summons every ounce of his courage, then dives beneath the surface. Tatsu breaks through, opens his eyes, sees one bullfrog holding Bee-Fly by the tail, while another tries to gobble him. Bee-Fly pulls his tail free, pumps his wings in every direction, dodging the lightning-fast tongues of the frogs. The frogs scatter as a razor-toothed catfish sneaks up behind Bee-Fly. It opens its mouth, set to chomp. Tatsu darts in and snatches Bee-Fly from the jaws of death. They launch above the surface, soar through the air, and crash land on the shore. They roll into an awkward hug, then quickly push away to maintain their dude status. Mosquitoes swarm all around them.
Oh, we're alive.
It took you long enough.
What? I came as soon as I could.
Dude, I thought I was frog bait.
More like dragonfly a la mode.
Too soon, bro.
Oh, sorry. I guess I did freeze up a little.
What a convenient time to go soft.
A mosquito flies into Bee-Fly's mouth.
Blech. I hate the taste of skeeters in the morning.
Tatsu chomps a few nearby stragglers.
Tastes like victory.
If this is victory, count me out. I'm done.
Done.
Finished. Why should I risk my tail for those ungrateful humans? They dirty up our streams and chomp down on our home trees.
But you love their music, remember?
Yeah, the old timer is worth it.
Bee-Fly leaps into the air.
So let's go help them.
Now,
It's time for us to get Brotherlicious, Tatsu.
Brotherlicious.
Just me and you. Tag team versus the world.
I can't break formation, Bee-Fly. My dad will ground me.
Last one to the old timer shack is a flea on an aphid's hearse.
Bee-Fly darts towards Papa Otis's rundown house.
Don't do it, Bee-Fly. Come back! Why do you always do this to me?
Tatsu turns to see the swamp squad annihilating the mosquitoes. His father, Pondhawk, chomps without mercy.
I'm sorry, Dad. I can't leave my wingman.
Tatsu races anxiously after Bee-Fly. Exterior rundown house porch. Papa Otis sits in a rocking chair, strumming a beat-up guitar to a blues ballad. He sings with a raspy, soulful voice.
Some like it smooth, some like it crunchy. You likes it creamy. Oh, that sounds so dreamy.
A mosquito lands on Papa Otis's cheek and prepares to bite. Papa doesn't notice. Just before the mosquito inserts its fangs, Bee-Fly swoops in at supersonic speed and chomps. Papa Otis smacks himself in the face.
Dark-hand bloodsucker?
Bee-Fly perches on the porch, still chewing on the mosquito. Tatsu glides in and hovers face to face.
What kind of a wingman leaves his wingman?
The kind of wingman who just saved an old man from sleepless nights of itching, scratching, and colloidal oatmeal baths.
You be spreading it with jelly, I be putting it in my belly. Either way, it don't matter, cause I still feel like good old-fashioned peanut butter ice cream.
Papa raises a harmonica to his mouth. He is horrified to find a caterpillar crawling from the harmonica onto his upper lip, like a mustache. Yells inside the house.
Luther, I found one of your critters.
Interior rundown house, dusty old living room. Luther, Papa Otis's bug-obsessed grandson, whom we met in the opening, sits on the edge of a raggedy couch in his own world. He works an Xbox video game controller in one hand and tickles a dying caterpillar with the other while sipping a blue Slurpee through a straw.
You hear me, Luther? Come on out and sing with your papa.
I'm busy, Papa Otis.
But I'm singing a duet by myself.
I hate that song.
Well, you wrote it.
Not how you play it.
Exterior porch, Bee-Fly turns to Tatsu.
Poor kid just wants to play Xbox.
I bet those caterpillars he captured would disagree.
Papa Otis swings his guitar at a swarm of mosquitoes.
Damn them critters, this here's Papa Otis's porch.
Did you see that, Tatsu? The old timer is one of us, a skeeter beater.
Minus the wings, antenna, and tail.
Tatsu darts towards the mosquitoes while Papa Otis continues to swing his guitar. Tatsu spins and dodges the guitar while chomping one mosquito after another. Bee-Fly joins him.
Is it me, or do these skeeters taste nastier than usual?
Chomps a mosquito.
No, they've always been nasty.
Chomps another mosquito.
Yeah, but there's something blech about this nastiness.
Tatsu engages dragon vision on the mosquitoes landing on Papa Otis.
I've got a lock on a few squatters.
Tatsu prepares to chomp. Papa Otis swings his guitar. Tatsu collides with the guitar and falls.
I'm hit! I'm hit! I'm in a flat spin. I'm going down.
Under the porch, Tatsu crash lands in a stagnant puddle of water, surrounded by thousands of iridescent mosquito eggs.
Jackpot time. I gotta get the swamp squad here.
One of the eggs begins to shake, then hatch. A disgusting mosquito larva wriggles out like a newborn xenomorph from Alien.
Disgustus Maximus.
An ominous buzz resonates in the shadows. A set of frightening red eyes appear. Tatsu readies for a fight. Out of the shadows steps a mutant mosquito, twice the size of a dragonfly, brutal scar on his cheek, razor-sharp stinger, and eyes black as pitch. His grin evokes the cold arrogance of a despot. He towers over Tatsu.
Moskar.
Moskar?
That's my name, don't worry that.
Are you a mosquito?
I'm the original mosquito, resurrected from the ashes of our ancestors.
What about what?
Moskar picks up the slimy newborn mosquito larva and holds it like his precious child.
The time of the mosquito is near. A time of incurable disease and pestilence for humans. My time.
Why don't you leave people alone? What did they ever do to you?
It's not what they did to me. It's what they did to us, to nature. And I have been brought back to annihilate them.
Annihilate?
Tatsu!
Pondhawk swoops beneath the porch. He pulls Tatsu out of the puddle, then checks him for injuries.
Son, are you alright?
Yes, Dad. I mean Commander Pondhawk, sir. I'm fine.
Pondhawk switches from dad to general.
You broke away from your squadron, darner. Report!
Tatsu points in the direction of Moskar. He has vanished.
There was a huge, gigantic...
Unacceptable, Tatsu. You fly like a daydreaming darner, endangering the lives of every red-blooded American living in this marsh.
I apologize, sir.
This is life or death, son. If the mosquitoes had their way, they would suck the life out of every living thing in this marsh. You are the only ones who can protect the humans in their way.
Okay, Dad. I mean, sir, I understand.
Bee-Fly swoops down next to Tatsu.
Pondhawk, Commander, sir, I can explain all of this. You see, Tatsu and I...
Quiet, you no good son of a bonehead.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir.
I'm training Tatsu to be commander. That's a rank that's low-born, fatherless blue hawker like you will never come to know. Now return to your squadron and don't let me catch you winging it with my boy ever again.
Bee-Fly turns and flies away dejected. Back on the porch, Papa Otis smacks his neck.
Oh, damn, Natalie, Critter bit me.
He pulls his hand away, revealing a large welt. He checks his hand for a mosquito, but only finds blood on his fingers.
What the? Mosquitoes getting bigger and worse every year.
Moscar perches on the ceiling just above Papa Otis.
Yes, human, we are worse than you can possibly imagine.
Dissolved to beneath the surface of the stream, Skylar swims all alone, lost in thought, overwhelmed with emotions, anxious to become a dragonfly. Above the surface, Skylar breaches, then slides gracefully onto a lily pad. She stretches out and basks in the rays of the sun.
Skylar!
Skylar spots Bee-Fly, flying just above her. He waves. She bashfully attempts to cover herself. Bee-Fly swoops down beside her, sullen. He is smitten.
How's life as an up-and-coming dragonfly superstar?
Not so super today.
What's up?
Sometimes it just feels like the whole world is against me.
Skylar kisses his cheek and looks into his eyes.
Did I ever tell you that you are the flyest dragonflyer ever?
Bee-Fly leaps into the air and dances for her, pirouettes, moonwalks, and backflips into a split. Skylar claps for him.
You are awesome sauce, Bee-Fly.
Thanks, Skylar. I wish everyone else thought so too, especially your father, Pondhawk.
She turns away, disconcerted.
What does it matter what my dad thinks of you anyways? Take me flying, Bee-Fly. I'm ready.
If we get caught, I don't know if I could handle losing you.
Please, Bee-Fly.
Okay.
Bee-Fly scoops her up in his arms and soars into the sky. Skylar covers her eyes in fear.
I'm holding you, Skylar. Don't be afraid. I won't let you go.
Skylar uncovers her eyes.
Well, if you're holding me, who's holding you?
My wings. They're holding both of us. Soon you'll have your own.
Skylar stares at Bee-Fly in wonder. They soar through a pink cloud.
Am I dreaming?
No, Skylar. You're flying.
Skylar's body brightens, orange.
It feels so perfect. I wish we could stay right here forever.
If you think this is cool, just wait till we fly through a rainbow.
They spot Pondhawk and Tatsu leading the swamp squad back home. Bee-Fly's face fills with fear. He dives with Skylar back to the surface of the river and gently places her back onto the lily pad.
You are going to be there today when I get my wings, right?
I don't think your dad would like that so much, Skylar.
Pondhawk and Tatsu fly overhead.
The marsh is clear, Skylar. Just in time for my little girl's first flight. Congratulations on your becoming.
My becoming.
She turns back to Bee-Fly, but he is gone. A mist envelops the swamp. Skylar sings while she transforms from nymph to winged dragonfly. Her voice is as sweet as Debbie Gibson's circa 1988.
It's time to fly, touch the sky. But I'm scared to leave this all behind and get lost in the wind. A new life I must begin.
Skylar crawls onto the shore. Her gills close. The waves splash over her back.
They say it's time to forget my past and focus on a dream. But will it light the way? I pray to the stars, so bright and beautiful even though they're far away.
She stands up and steps out of her gray skin, revealing a slender thorax, streamlined tail, and 4 translucent wings.
And if I fall, said if I fall, I'll know. I lived for it all.
She collapses, exhausted. Her body tenses. Her wings grow. Begins to cry.
It hurts.
Her wings turn brilliant saffron. Her body burns crimson.
Daddy, I'm scared. Where are you?
The clouds above her open. Rays of sunlight warm her back. Skylar raises her head and regains consciousness. She sees that she is surrounded by hundreds of dragonfly families. They whir their wings in unison, celebrating her becoming one of them. Other insect families witness the becoming from the surrounding trees and bushes. Ladybugs, caterpillars, aphids, roly-polies, spiders, grasshoppers, beetles, and earthworms. A myriad of nymphs emerge from the water, becoming dragonflies. They sprout their wings and join their families in ceremony. An elder dragonfly calls out their family names.
Rosetta Skimmer, Dancing Jewel, Powdered Sprite, Ivory Pintail, Baby Scarlet, Saffron Wing Meadowhawk.
Skylar's mother, Rose, an elegant rose skimmer, floats toward her. Skylar hands over her molted skin and bows. Rose takes the skin and folds it like a blanket.
I'm so proud of you, Skylar. You've grown into a beautiful young dragonfly. Now you may whir your wings.
Skylar whirs to her mother, then turns to Pondhawk and whirs again. He proudly bows, then whirs back at her. Skylar and Pondhawk perform a ceremonial waltz. In the distance, a vast array of insects stop to admire Skylar's beauty. A ladybug stands and whirs her tiny wings. She loses her balance and nosedives into the stream. The waltz ends. Every insect in attendance claps. Skylar begins to cry with joy. Pondhawk joins Tatsu in the crowd.
I didn't cry when I got my wings.
Pondhawk elbows him in the thorax.
Remember, Skylar, wings bring freedom.
And with freedom comes responsibility. You taught me that.
Kisses her.
You may now rise, saffron-winged meadowhawk.
Skylar whirs her wings until she lifts awkwardly off the ground. Rose turns to Pondhawk with a prideful smile.
Go ahead, Skylar. Fly. Touch the stars, sweetheart.
Skylar looks to Tatsu for encouragement.
Yeah, Skylar. Touch a planet.
Points at his tail.
Find Uranus.
Pondhawk puts Tatsu in a headlock.
But it's a planet.
Skylar beats her wings as fast as she can, then leaps into the air. She pirouettes like a ballerina across the sky.
She's every bit as beautiful as her mother on the day of her becoming.
And she dances on the wind with the grace of her father.
I can't take it anymore. Dad,
What?
permission to buzz the bamboo.
Negative. You're taking your sister on her first flight, Tatsu.
Oh, come on, she's a baby. Send her to nursery flight school with the damselflies.
High Council's a called an emergency meeting. Apparently a storm is coming. Your mother and I must attend.
Tatsu rolls his eyes.
Every instinct in me cries out against you, an insubordinate daydreaming darner, this much responsibility.
Tatsu's wings droop. He is crushed. Lifts Tatsu's wings.
Responsibility is exactly what he needs, Pondhawk. Our son is ready.
Pondhawk grabs Tatsu firmly.
Our sisters and mothers have carried the seed of the ordinate kingdom across time in order to continue our species. This burden will be riding on your wings today, my son.
Tatsu grits his teeth, then nods affirmative. Cut to, above the marsh, in flight. Angle on Skylar's shadow advancing rapidly over the surface of the swamp.
The shadow dance is an ancient tradition that dates back to the original ordinance, our ancestors. They learned to fly by studying the shadows of eagles passing overhead.
Tatsu chases Skylar's shadow until he glides directly beneath it.
I can't believe it, Tatsu! I'm flying!
Well, yeah, we're dragonflies. That's what we do.
Right! We're dragonflies!
She performs a few basic turns and rolls.
Okay, stop flapping around and pay attention. I'm gonna teach you some real flying.
Tatsu dives. Inside, a thicket of reeds. He darts side to side, weaving through the reeds like a slalom skier. Skylar bounces off a few reeds.
Come on, Skylar, keep up.
I'm trying!
Tatsu rolls his eyes.
Let's take it supersonic.
He accelerates to full speed and ascends into the sky. Skylar struggles to keep up. Tatsu rolls into an aerial loop. His body shakes from the powerful G-forces, then he suddenly relaxes and eases into a glide.
I call this skywalking.
He sees Skylar beneath him, struggling with the G-forces.
You're not a polywog anymore. Stop flapping. Lock wings in glider mode.
I'm trying!
Skylar stops flapping her wings. Her body becomes still, but instead of gliding, she drops like a rock.
Ah!
She looks to Tatsu for help.
Are you a dragonfly or a damselfly?
Skylar tilts her wings, determined. She begins to glide.
I'm doing it!
Tatsu's face suddenly turns sour.
Skylar, look out for that!
Skylar slams into a huge billboard promoting lap band surgery. She tumbles to the ground. On the billboard, a woman is depicted in white spandex shorts with a supersized derriere. Her ridges of cellulite resemble the surface of the moon.
Nice one, Skylar. I think you're the first dragonfly to hit a full moon in broad daylight.
On the ground, Skylar lay unconscious. Tatsu lands beside her.
This is no time to dig for earthworms, sis. Let's go home.
Skylar remains still.
Skylar? Can you hear me?
Still no response. A cold wind passes through Tatsu. His green body turns blue. He notices gray skies approaching from the distance. He looks around, panicked. We see Luther strutting toward them, Slurpee in hand, aimlessly kicking rocks. A rock flies at Skylar like a cannonball.
Skylar!
Tatsu dives and knocks Skylar out of the way. Luther walks closer, still kicking rocks. Tatsu covers Skylar to protect her.
Please, Skylar, get up!
He hops around, nudging Skylar. She remains lifeless. He attempts to lift her, but is not strong enough.
Dad, somebody help!
A rock hits Tatsu. He tumbles off the road into some brush. Luther notices Skylar resting like Sleeping Beauty. He kneels beside her, fascinated.
A dragonfly.
Tatsu sits up, dazed. Everything hurts. He spots Luther ogling his sister. Panic launches him into the air. Adjusts a tenet.
Mayday, Mayday, B-Fly, come in. Skylar was wounded. We're being attacked by a human donut.
His cries go unheard. Luther lays down on his belly and wriggles closer to Skylar.
Hey, you. Are you killed?
He gently touches Skylar's wings. They twitch.
Motor functions are still working.
Tatsu circles Luther.
Don't you dare eat my sister, you deep-fried doughboy. Worms are a much better choice.
Luther gently blows on Skylar. Her eyes flutter.
That's it. Just hold on, little dragonfly. I'm gonna take you back to base.
Calls out.
We need a medevac!
Luther dumps his Slurpee, then pretends to fly the empty cup like an emergency helicopter swooping around the air. He places the cup on the ground and scoops Skylar up.
Flight for Life has secured the wounded. We're headed back to base.
Luther waddles back to Papa Otis's house. Tatsu chases him.
Skylar!
Luther slams the front door in Tatsu's face.
Skylar?
Exterior Papa Otis's house, sunset. Dark rain clouds roll in, blotting out the sun. Tatsu darts around the house, peeking through windows. He spots Papa Otis inside the bathroom, using a mirror to examine the mosquito bite on his neck. It has become a festering wound.
Doggone Skeeter's got me pretty good this time. I think they're taking over the world. Just ain't fitting.
Covers it with a band-aid. Tatsu sees Luther tiptoe past the bathroom, unnoticed. Luther enters his bedroom. He places Skylar into a glass jar, pokes holes in the lid with a writing compass.
He's torturing her.
Luther places Skylar's jar on his dresser next to a half-eaten bowl of cereal and a mini insect farm filled with a hairless caterpillar, a British beetle, and a one-legged grasshopper. They all look dead. Luther eats a heaping spoonful of the cereal, spilling milk on his t-shirt.
He's a serial killer.
Luther closes the window blinds, shutting Tatsu out.
You beast. You monster. You human.
Yes, son of Pondhawk. Monsters, all of them.
Tatsu spins around, startled.
Who's there?
In the shadows above Luther's window, we see Moskar, the giant mosquito that Tatsu met beneath Papa Otis's porch.
Just me again.
Moskar floats calmly down to Tatsu, followed by 100 swarming mosquitoes buzzing like madmen.
And a few friends.
Moskar hovers intensely close to Tatsu, bullying him backwards.
What do you want? And how'd you get so big, anyways?
I could blame it all on my mama, but she died millions of years ago.
Tatsu looks confused.
Human scientists resurrected me from the remains of her fossils. Apparently she was a child as she passed. And somehow my eggs stood the test of time.
You're a dinosaur?
I prefer dinosketor. But let's not be quibble over semantics. Your sister has been adopted by a human. They are evil, and now you have proof.
But it was my fault. I tried to make her
The
crash.
boy locked her in a jar, not you. When will you dragonflies accept the truth that humans threaten all life, including yours?
Moskar pins Tatsu against the window. His eyes glow blood red. He gestures to the dark, ominous sky above. A light mist begins to fall. A smatter of rain dusts Tatsu's face.
The great storm is upon us, and I have planted my seeds across this marsh. When the flood comes, my offspring will rise, and we will rid the earth of all humankind once and for all.
Tatsu shudders in fear.
Join us, Tatsu. Help us save the world.
What? How?
Go home and tell the dragonflies the truth about the humans. They must no longer be protected.
I don't know.
If you do this, Moscow the Immortal, will save your beloved sister from the evil boy.
Tatsu is overwhelmed. He tries to break free of Moskar's powerful grip until Moskar releases him. Tatsu bolts away at supersonic speed. Interior, Luther's bedroom. Resembles a science lab, only messier. No sheets on his bed, hand-me-down microscope, entomology posters dominate the walls. A framed portrait of his deceased mother wearing an army uniform sits on an intricately decorated shrine. Luther looks inside Skylar's jar and studies her. He clicks buttons on his Xbox, researching.
Golden eyes, orange tail, 4 wings.
On the Xbox screen, we see a photograph of a dragonfly that looks exactly like Skylar. A caption reads,
Saffron winged meadowhawk.
Skylar opens her eyes.
I knew you were alive.
Skylar leaps back, startled. She staggers, off balance.
You got a concussion. That's big words for you knocked a few screws loose.
Skylar blinks, unable to focus. She lays down.
No. Don't sleep. If you sleep with the concussion, you might not wake up. Trust me, my mom was a nurse.
He taps the jar. Skylar wakes up.
Wait here, I'll be back. But no sleeping.
Luther exits the room. On Luther's dresser, Skylar peers at the lifeless insects in the jar. The British beetle suddenly wakes up and slams himself against the glass. He has the voice of John Lennon.
Well, you thought we were dead?
He rubs his head.
Well, we're not dead at all. We're living in peace, sleeping for peace, going bananas for peace, sprinkled with nuts on top, of course.
The one-legged grasshopper wakes up and fastens a prosthetic toothpick to his hip. He has the voice of an old Chinese man.
The beetle disturbed the peace in the jars, the pebble disturbed the stillness of the pond. Could you possibly be off your bed again?
I don't need medication. I'm on meditation.
The hairless caterpillar rubs ointment all over his body. He has the voice of a hillbilly.
Looky here, young grasshopper. My meds don't even work. I've been using Extend's natural caterpillar enhancement for months, and I'm still only a ½ inch long.
I thought that cream was for male pattern baldness.
Maybe we transplant the hair from the beetle back to your bald spot.
That ain't a bad idea. He's got back hair to spare.
Back care is what happens while you're busy making other plans.
Skylar looks around, frantic.
Tatsu? Daddy?
Help! She tries to hide but has nowhere to go. She pounds on the inside of the jar. She screams, but her voice is silenced behind the glass. Luther returns to his bedroom holding a pitcher of sweet tea and an eyedropper. He drips the tea inside Skylar's jar. Skylar dodges the falling droplets.
Drink up, Meadowhawk. It'll put hair on your thorax.
Skylar falls in the puddle of tea and swallows some.
Yuck.
Luther presses a button on his Xbox. It plays the love song Take My Breath Away by Berlin.
No, not this song again.
Luther holds his mother's picture up to Skylar.
This was my mom's favorite song.
He sings pitifully off key while waltzing around the room with Skylar still in her jar.
Watching every motion in my foolish lover's game. On this endless ocean, finally lovers know no shame. Turning and returning some secret place inside. Watching in slow motion as you turn to me and say, take my breath away.
Skylar covers her ears and begins to tremble, afraid. Interior living room. Papa Otis lay asleep on the couch, cradling a handheld radio that transmits a blues tune. A blood-curdling digital storm warning tone interrupts. Papa Otis jolts awake. A computer voice issues an advisory.
The National Weather Service has issued a hurricane warning for the following counties: Mason, Hicksville, and La Serna. Category 2 winds have been recorded off the coast at speeds of up to 70 miles per hour.
Damn Netherland weather people. Don't know nothing about no doggone wind.
He scratches the swollen mosquito bite on his neck.
Ah!
It is tender to the touch and blood is visible through the Band-Aid. Papa Otis feels unusually fatigued. He wraps a blanket around himself and falls back asleep. Exterior skies above the marsh, dusk. Light rain falls, thunder rumbles, gusts of wind push Tatsu's cold gray body around as he races full speed toward home. He flies over an area inhabited by humans. A myriad of shoppers exit a mall, panicked about the hurricane advisory. The parking lot becomes a battleground. Traffic's gridlocked, spewing toxic fumes for miles. A factory belches black smoke into the atmosphere. A forest is clear-cut to make room for condominiums.
Maybe Moskar was right. Humans aren't worth saving.
Interior Luther's bedroom. Luther continues singing and dancing with Skylar in the jar.
Through the hourglass I saw you, in time you slipped away. When the mirror crashed I called you and turned to hear you say, if only for today, I am unafraid. Take my breath away.
Skylar looks queasy.
Maybe you need a bigger dance floor, Meadowhawk.
He opens the lid of the jar. Skylar freezes.
Come on out and dance with me.
Skylar doesn't move.
Just do like this.
Luther spreads his arms and dances like a drunk penguin.
My mom taught me.
Skylar trembles. Luther stops.
Okay, I understand. You had a rough day and need to rest.
He places Skylar's jar on top of his dresser. The nutty insects imitate judges from Dancing with the Stars.
Touch a writer on your toes, Meadowhawk, and you have something to Twitter about. I give you a 7.
I think Luther needs to be touched later on his cupcake intake. 3.
Luther has all that gear in the rear, but Meadowhawk hasn't a clue what to do with it. I'd give him a 5.
Luther reaches under his mattress and pulls out a half-eaten bag of stale marshmallows. He dusts one off, then offers it to Skylar. She looks at the sugary puffball, suspicious.
Don't worry, I tested them and they're good.
She hops out onto the rim of the jar, then freezes.
I won't hurt you, promise.
Skylar hops onto the marshmallow and nibbles.
That's it, Meadowhawk.
Skylar licks her lips. Yummy. Exterior maple tree, home of the dragonflies, night. Heavy rain pours. Hundreds of dragonfly residents zip around the branches, anxiously preparing for an exodus. Tatsu hustles through the chaos incognito, making his way to the trunk side projects. This is a section of the maple tree where less fortunate dragonflies live on frail, leafless branches. A few hopeless-looking dragonflies sit perched in front of Bee-Fly, watching him dance and perform his own dragonfly pop tune. Tatsu splashes down in front of Bee-Fly.
Skylar's been taken.
Whoa, wingman. What's going on?
The old-timer's grandson locked her in a jar.
Bee-Fly stops dancing.
A jar? That's not even funny, Tatsu. Don't play like that.
I'm telling you the truth, Bee-Fly. I lost my sister.
The love of my life?
Tatsu nods.
I deserve to have my wings clipped.
Bee-Fly grabs him by his antenna.
I should clip your wings myself.
She's still alive, Bee-Fly. You gotta help me break her out of that jar.
Bee-Fly pales, then releases Tatsu.
You and I both know that no one's ever come out of a man-made jar alive.
So what? We can't give up on Skylar. She's counting on us.
Raindrops weep down Bee-Fly's face.
I can't do it without you, Bee-Fly. I need my wingman on this one.
I never got to fly through that rainbow, Skylar.
Tatsu takes to the air, awash in guilt. Exterior dark as part of the marsh. Lightning lights up the shadows, rain pelts the stream. Tatsu sits perched on Skylar's lily pad, trying to find his reflection in the water. We hear his thoughts.
You're a failure. That's why Dad doesn't believe in you.
The voice of an ancient spirit echoes ominously through the trees. Her name is Manta Z.
A big wind is coming.
Tatsu scans the area but sees nothing.
The tempest is angry, furious.
Manta Z?
I see floodwaters rising, children, alone.
I'm in trouble, Manta Z. Where are you?
Manta Z emerges from the shadows. She is a majestic praying mantis, blind in one eye but able to see across the world with the other. Her albino body glows bright as the moon.
I see darkness inside you, son of Pondhawk.
You do?
Pride has taken hold.
Pride? What's that?
Find your truth, and you will know.
Manta Z uses her tail to draw a symbol in the mud near Tatsu's feet. It resembles the blades of a helicopter.
I see Skylar, beneath the wings of the storm dragon.
Storm dragon?
He'll help you find your truth.
Where am I going to find a storm dragon? I never even heard of one.
Oh, he is out there. To see him, you must open your mind's eye.
My mind's eye.
Manta Z covers Tatsu's eyes with her hooked claws.
The mind's eye. The mind's eye.
Manta Z's third eye appears, glowing on her forehead. It sparks a vision in Tatsu's mind.
I see her, Manta Z. I see Skylar. She's still in the jar, alive. Can I save her?
You must be willing to lose everything.
Everything?
Everything.
Okay, I'm ready. I'll do whatever it takes to free my sister.
That's good. Now open your mind's eye. Let it light the way.
Manta Z's third eye emits blinding white light. Exterior peaceful stream, maple tree. Fingers of lightning claw the pregnant clouds as a deluge of rain bloats the stream into a river. Hundreds of dragonflies dart about their home tree in chaos. Pondhawk circles the area looking for Skylar and Tatsu. He spots his wife, Rose, scouring the surface of the river.
Skylar! Tatsu!
Pondhawk rockets to her side.
It's too late, Rose. They're gone.
She ignores him and continues her painful search. In a thicket of reeds, Tatsu hides in shame, witnessing his parents' desperation.
I'm sorry, my love, but we must go.
There are children.
I know that, Rose, and I love them both.
Tatsu flutters his wings, tempted to join his father.
But we must survive.
Motions to the maple tree.
I have hundreds of other children waiting for me to lead them. I must do what is right.
Rose begins to cry. Pondhawk carries her into the sky. Tatsu's wings fold, disappointed. Pondhawk hovers with Rose above the maple trees, struggling against the forces of nature. He beats his wings to glow. The eyes of every dragonfly present are drawn to him.
Fellow dragonflies, I understand your fear. None among us want to turn their back on our home. But the power of this storm is immeasurable. We must accept it as a gift, for it is the chance for a new beginning. Now take to the skies, and all of you,
Points to the horizon.
ride the wind, find a new maple tree where we can spread our wings in peace.
One by one, the dragonflies take flight, braving the tempest. Tatsu glares directly into the oncoming storm.
I know you're out there, Skylar, and I'm gonna bring you home.
The exodus of the entire dragonfly kingdom is led by Pondhawk. They sail away from stormy skies toward a clear horizon while Tatsu flies directly into the hurricane. The dreadful storm warning tone returns.
Direct strike of potentially catastrophic and life-threatening Category 5 hurricane warning is now in effect for the following counties: Mason, Hicksville, and Lacerna.
Interior rundown house, living room. Papa Otis peers out the window, handheld radio to his ear. The wind bends the trees, a flood siren blares. The neighbors evacuate their homes carrying canned goods and water jugs.
165-mile-per-hour winds expected. Mandatory evacuation orders are now in effect.
I never ran from nothing. No man, no woman. Well, maybe one woman. But not no storm.
We see a daddy long-legged spider crawling on his thigh. He jumps up, startled.
Luther!
Interior, Luther's bedroom. Luther peers out the window with his binoculars. Skylar perches on his shoulder. Luther's POV. Neighbors pack their cars in the pouring rain. One father stuffs a TV set into the trunk while his little daughter struggles to load her puppy. A mother stuffs a handful of shoes into the back seat.
Where's she taking all those shoes?
Skylar whirs her wings. The door knocks.
Luther, you in there?
Papa pushes it open, scratching the neck bite Moskar left.
You got bit again? Told you not to go outside without wearing the bug juice.
Stops scratching.
There's a storm coming.
It's already here.
Our neighbors are leaving their house, but I built mine, and I ain't leaving it. It's my home.
Papa exits, fussing with the bite.
Papa Otis has gone crazy.
Luther opens his closet and pulls out a set of inflatable water wings. He fits Skylar's jar into one of the water wings, then blows it up tight.
If we get flooded, this will keep you floating.
He pulls the other wing onto his right arm.
Gotta keep me floating too.
Luther raises the jar to Skylar. She peers inside, afraid.
I know it's stuffy in there, but you'll be safe.
Skylar trusts Luther and hops into the jar. In the kitchen, Papa Otis changes the bloody Band-Aid on his neck. The bite is swollen, possibly infected. He fills a box with supplies, jug of water, case of peanut butter, and a tube of polygrip denture adhesive. He picks up the heavy box and struggles to the basement stairs. Luther walks in, holding Skylar's jar. He notices Papa wobble, then lean against the wall, out of breath. Luther takes the crate from Papa's trembling hands.
Did you take your pills?
Them pills make me sick.
Luther opens the cupboard above the sink. He takes out Papa's glucometer and diabetes meds. He sits Papa at the table.
Did you eat something today?
My sweet tea.
That ain't food.
Luther takes Papa's hand and pricks his finger. He records the blood sugar level in a logbook.
Your sugars are low.
Raises a glass.
That's why I'm drinking sweet tea.
Luther places 2 pills in Papa's hand. Papa washes them down with sweet tea, then picks up Skylar's jar. He takes a long look at her while she studies the lines on his weathered face.
You're here to protect my grandson.
Skylar whirs her wings, affirmative. Luther grabs her jar.
Me and Meadowhawk are going.
What do you mean going?
I'm scared. I don't want to stay.
Papa Otis looks away, hiding his sadness.
I guess I'll be singing peanut butter ice cream alone?
Luther looks at Skylar. She flutters her wings, encouraging him to help his grandfather. Luther takes Papa's hand and leads him down the stairs into the basement. Exterior garbage dump. Rain pours over mountains of waste. Streams of sludge form a murky bog. Millions of mosquitoes fly around this cesspool in a frenzy, buzzing like madmen. The shadow of Moskar is cast, looming over all.
We outnumber the sands on the beach. We are more than the vast and the stars in the sky. And when the storm blows over, we will take back the marsh and the flies who call themselves dragons.
The mosquitoes buzz louder. The wind picks up. Lightning strikes. Reveal Moskar perched on a baby diaper.
This land has been ours since the dawn of time. Lest we forget, there is no other species on this planet that knows the taste of dinosaur blood. The mosquito is immortal, and it is we who shall inherit the earth.
The mosquitoes violently bounce off one another while chanting their master's name. Moskar, Moskar. Moskar's eyes beam blood red. He raises his wings like a conductor. Lightning strikes behind him. Sparks explode. The scene turns into a heavy metal concert.
All around me there were creatures, but none of them were my friend. I had such ugly features, the world will never let me in.
The mosquitoes slam dance like punk rockers in a mosh pit. Mosquito groupies in the crowd hold up banners. We love you, Moskar. Moskar forever. The blood is the life. Make the swamp great again.
They say you suck the blood and spread disease. You do not even belong even amongst the fleas.
The mosquitoes swarm into the night sky like a tornado of delirious vampires, then disperse into the darkness, dissolve to somewhere in the dark sky. The hurricane is in full force. Wind howls, thunder roars. Jagged bolts of lightning heat up the cold, dark clouds electric. Tatsu twists and spins, fighting to stay alive amidst nature's fury. He dodges a red umbrella whirling by, followed by a pink tricycle, then the maple tree.
Our home.
A calm space suddenly opens. The rain and wind cease. Flickers of lightning illuminate a circular void known as the Eye of the Storm.
The mind's eye.
Black clouds close around him. His green wings fade to gray.
Skylar!
Darkness swallows him. Black screen. The storm warning tone blares.
Squall spreading over southeast Louisiana with conditions deteriorating all evening. Rush protective measures to completion.
Interior, Papa Otis's basement. The power is out. A series of loud crashes rattle the house. The lights flicker on, then off again.
Papa Otis?
A candle lights up the basement. Papa Otis places the candle on top of a piano next to his handheld radio. Luther and Skylar lay hiding on an inflated swimming pool raft under a carpenter's table. Papa strums the song Peanut Butter Ice Cream on his guitar. Luther rolls his eyes. Skylar perks up, excited. He sings like a pro.
Some likes it smooth.
He sings off key.
Some like it crunchy.
You likes it creamy.
Oh, that sounds dreamy.
I be spreading it with jelly.
I'm putting it in my belly.
Either way, it don't matter, 'cause I still likes me good old-fashioned peanut butter ice cream.
Papa Otis's handheld radio interrupts their singing.
Mandatory flood evacuations are now in effect for all residents in the following districts: Gramrock, Clarkson, West Bank.
West Bank. That's us, Papa.
How are they even raining out there? They're just trying to scare us.
Papa Otis looks out the storm window. A wave of floodwater crashes against us. Papa looks worried for the first time.
Might be too late to leave, son.
The rain sounds like rocks pelting the roof. The wind rattles the window panes. The entire house begins to shake.
Papa?
Hold on, Luther.
He dives under the carpenter's table with Luther. We hear the sound of wood splitting. The ceiling cracks, water gushes. Luther, Papa Otis, and Skylar scream. Exterior rundown house. The wind rips the roof off. It smashes to splinters. Back inside the basement, the carpenter's table topples over. Rain pounds Luther and Papa Otis. Water rises to their knees.
Come on, Luther, we gotta go.
Papa Otis yanks Luther toward the stairs. Luther drops Skylar's jar. The water wing keeps it afloat.
Wait, Papa, my meadow hawk!
There's no time for that, Luther.
Inside the jar, Skylar bounces against the lid.
Luther, don't leave me!
Luther shakes away from Papa's grip and reaches for Skylar.
Luther, come back.
A massive wave rushes over the basement wall and pummels Luther from behind. He falls under the water.
Luther! Help me, Papa Otis!
Papa Otis fights through the raging waters.
Luther, don't leave me.
He dives beneath the murky water. Skylar watches helplessly. Papa springs back up, holding Luther's limp body in his arms.
I got you, son. Breathe.
Papa shakes him. Luther remains lifeless.
Wake up, Luther. Your time ain't come yet.
Looks to the sky.
You hear me, Lord? Don't you take this boy.
Papa carries Luther to the stairs. He pounds on Luther's chest. Luther coughs.
That's it, Luther. You come on back.
Luther coughs again and opens his eyes.
I love you, boy.
Papa embraces Luther. Another wave floods the basement.
Look out, Papa Otis!
The wave knocks Papa off his feet and sweeps him away. Luther flails his arms and sinks below the surface.
Luther!
Cut to black. Fade in the next morning. The storm has passed. Tatsu lay face down on a leaf. He struggles to raise his head and looks around confused. He spreads his wings to fly. They are tattered. He flaps them and winces from the pain. He notices his reflection in the floodwater.
Am I a ghost?
He taps on the surface. The water ripples. His reflection washes away.
I am a ghost.
Tatsu leaps into the air, attempting to fly. He falls back into the water, frustrated. He starts to cry.
Skylar.
A ragged teddy bear floats by. Tatsu examines it, then cautiously hops on. Tatsu and the teddy bear float by uprooted trees, street signs, and broken furniture. The water is polluted with oil. He is surrounded by a sea of rooftops.
My home. It's gone.
We hear mosquitoes buzzing in the distance. Tatsu spots them swarming over the floodwaters. He uses dragon vision to zoom in. He sees thousands of hatching mosquito eggs. Slimy little larvae crawl out. A giant mosquito hovers over the eggs. It is Moscar. Moskar caresses the eggs, then licks them clean the way a mother would. It is disgusting, but touching at the same time.
He can't be serious.
The voice of a young female responds. Her name is Aura.
You bet your exoskeleton he is.
Tatsu looks around but sees no one. The teddy bear raft gets caught in a thicket of eucalyptus.
Who's there?
Look down.
Tatsu looks down. A eucalyptus leaf floats on the water.
Pick it up.
What?
I said pick up that leaf quick.
Why?
Because those skeeters are on their way to eat you.
Mosquitoes can't hurt a dragonfly.
Those are not normal mosquitoes.
Tatsu looks back and sees Moskar whispering to the larva.
Someday, my precious vampiros, you will grow up to be even more evil than your daddy. Tomorrow he will take over the marsh for you. It will be your very own playground.
The larvae sprout wings and take flight. He sings softly.
It's in our blood to love the blood. It's in our eyes to hypnotize. It's in our buzz to paralyze. We live to hear them agonize.
Tatsu sniffs the eucalyptus leaf.
It stinks.
That's good. The stinkier the better. Now pick it up and rub it all over yourself.
But why?
Do you always ask as many questions when you're about to get eaten?
Tatsu sees the mosquitoes approaching. He rubs the eucalyptus leaf all over his body.
Oh, nasty.
Now crawl into that cave.
Tatsu spots a crack in the side of a dead oak tree.
It's too dark.
Too bad. Are you a dragonfly or a damselfly?
I'm a dragonfly, of course.
Could have fooled me.
Tatsu scowls, then crawls into the crack in the tree. Moskar leads the mosquitoes in Tatsu's direction. Sings louder.
Look in our eyes and idolize. We will survive from your demise. People's cries are lullabies.
The swarm of baby mosquitoes passes over Tatsu. Moskar stops and hovers over the crack. He sniffs it, disgusted.
Eucalyptus. I'd rather dine on the blood of a mummy.
Tatsu holds his breath in fear. Moskar cannot smell Tatsu over the eucalyptus. He flies away with the newborn mosquitoes. He notices a straggling baby mosquito and taps him on his bottom, pushing him forward.
Come, Vampiro. Your papa loves you. Do you have to make poopy?
He flies away humming. It's in our blood to love the blood.
The coast is clear. You can come out now.
I'm not going out there with mutant mosquitoes flying around.
So, you are a damselfly.
If you call me that one more time, I swear I'll...
You'll what? Tickle me with your wings?
Tatsu crawls out of the crack. He spreads his frayed wings, pretending to be strong. They quiver and shake.
Who am I talking to, and why are you hiding?
I just saved your life, dragon breath. Show me some respect.
Why don't you come out and show yourself so I can?
Well, I would, but I'm busy rebuilding my nest. Got it?
So you're a bird.
Yeah, so you just watch yourself, because I could go for some poached damselfly right about now.
Tatsu sneaks around the eucalyptus tree, searching for the source of the voice.
Well, if you're a bird, then why didn't you fly away before the storm?
I couldn't leave my nest. I had eggs there.
Tatsu stumbles over Aura, a firefly half his size, with eyes too big for her head. She's going through her awkward phase.
Your nest, huh?
Aura jumps up, startled. He examines her.
You're no bird. You look more like a beetle, but you smell like a stink bug. What are you anyway?
I'm a firefly. My name is Aura.
A firefly? Yeah, right. Fireflies glow in the dark. They don't hide in it.
Aura is crushed. She looks away and flies off. Tatsu gladly watches her go. He looks around. The forest is empty and vast. He suddenly feels small, alone. The mosquitoes buzz in the distance. Tatsu trembles.
Hey, Aura, wait. Where are you going?
He races after her.
It's dangerous for you to be out here all by yourself.
No, actually, I'm not alone. But I wish I was.
I didn't mean to hurt your feelings about the whole firefly thing.
Rolls her eyes.
Please. You couldn't possibly hurt my feelings.
Are all fireflies brats like you?
What do you know about fireflies?
Tatsu looks confused.
That's right. Nothing.
Okay, so I don't know, but I'd like to.
It's scary to light up.
I think it's scarier to be in the dark.
Shakes her head.
In the dark, you can hide. When you light up, everyone can see you.
Tatsu reflects. Aura hides in a dark bush.
The dark might seem scary, but actually it's the safest place to be.
You sure are strange, Firefly.
Aura emerges from the dark, upset.
I'm not strange. You're just like everybody else.
I'm not like everybody else. I'm like you, alone.
Alone? Ha! I'm here with my 3 best friends. Me, myself, and I.
Well, I'm here now too, so it's the 4 of us.
Aura flies on. Tatsu hops after her. Cut 2. Exterior Pop Otis's rundown house. The house has been obliterated. All that remains is the basement filled with floodwater. Papa's guitar floats on the surface, cracked and broken. Luther lay adrift on his raft. He wakes up disoriented.
Papa? Papa Otis?
He spots Papa's broken guitar. His eyes fill with tears. He paddles toward the guitar. He pulls it out of the water and holds it close to his heart. Sings sad.
Papa Otis is gone. Papa Otis is gone. And now I'm all alone. I said I'm all alone.
Skylar floats in her jar on the other side of the basement. She sings in response to Luther, but he cannot hear her. She sings hopeful.
But you're not alone. I'm here singing alone.
I've lost my home. Now all I had is gone.
Better days are coming along. Oh yeah, they're coming along.
Papa Otis is gone. The sun don't shine.
We made it till dawn. The sun will keep us warm.
Papa Otis is gone. That's why I'm singing this song.
But his voice lives on because we're singing his song.
Papa Otis is gone.
Luther, you're not alone.
Skylar whirs her wings at Luther. He notices.
Meadowhawk? You made it? You're still alive?
Skylar whirs her wings faster.
Meadowhawk, it is you! I'm not alone!
He uses the guitar to paddle his raft toward Skylar.
Wait right there, I'm coming!
The raft gets stuck. Luther rocks it back and forth.
Come on, you hunk of junk.
The raft doesn't budge. Luther reaches out for Skylar.
Just a little bit closer, Meadowhawk. I gotcha.
Luther plunges headfirst into the floodwater. Skylar whirs her wings in fear. Luther flails his arms, unable to swim. Skylar calms her wings, whirring them softly for Luther. He calms himself, then begins to tread water.
I can't believe it. I'm doing it. I'm swimming.
Skylar taps against the glass with approval. Luther wades toward her, using his face to nudge her jar back to the raft. Skylar presses her face against his. Luther raises Skylar's jar onto the raft. Skylar flutters her wings at him with encouragement. Luther's head dips beneath the surface. Skylar whirs her wings hysterically and bounces around her jar in fear. Luther pops back up, coughing. He begins to cry. Skylar waves, encouraging him.
I see you, Meadowhawk. I'm gonna make it.
Luther grabs hold of the raft. Skylar whirs her support. He pulls half his head onto the raft and spits out water all over Skylar's jar. She bounces around with excitement.
Oops. Sorry, Meadowhawk.
Luther summons all his strength and pulls his entire body onto the raft. His face presses against the jar. Skylar is there waiting. They laugh together hysterically.
I love you, Meadowhawk.
Skylar whirs her wings affectionately.
I can't be the only one who loves you. You must have family out there somewhere. I bet they miss you.
Skylar's eyes well with tears.
If I had wings, we could fly away together and find them.
Luther picks up the jar and twists off the lid. Skylar looks at him confused.
I don't have wings, Meadowhawk, but you do.
Skylar flutters her wings. She floats out of the jar and hovers in front of Luther. She gazes deep into his eyes. A tear runs down his cheek. Skylar wipes it away with her wing. She looks at him one last time, then flies away. Cut to somewhere in the floodwaters. Tatsu and Aura drift on top of the teddy bear raft, surveying the devastation that surrounds them.
I've never seen the wind get so mad.
Wind doesn't have feelings, it just blows.
Why don't you have any feelings, Laura?
I have plenty of feelings. They just come and go just like family, friends, and your stupid wind.
Did your family leave you in the storm?
Or like I left them.
Why?
None of your beeswax.
Oh, come on, don't be like that, just tell.
Aura folds her arms and frowns. Tatsu spots a slug squirming up a tree.
Lunch.
Ugh. Slugs remind me of slimy kisses.
Ugh, kisses.
Tatsu leaps toward the slug. It crawls out of his reach. He looks down. His feet are stuck to a sundew plant.
Uh-oh. We got a situation here.
What?
I'm stuck.
Ha! You need my help again, little damsel fly in distress.
No, Aura! Wait!
Aura lands with her face planted against Tatsu's. He looks directly into her enormous eyes.
Jeepers creepers, where'd you get those peepers?
At least my wings are busted.
Tatsu is hurt. Aura looks away. She struggles but cannot free herself from the plant. They stand awkwardly, eye to eye. Aura headbutts him.
Ow! What was that for?
Your dragon breath is killing me.
A voice with a French accent chimes in.
It looks like you two lovebirds have found yourselves in a jam, no?
Tatsu and Aura look down and find Yubi, an orange-spotted newt, floating on the surface of the floodwater.
Lovebirds, I'm a dragonfly.
And I'm definitely not in love with him.
But the spark of love between you is blazing inferno. If not for the flood, the entire marsh would be in flames, no?
Enough with all this lovey-dovey stuff. A little help here, please.
Help is trifling understatement. What you need is someone who possesses a delicate touch. Someone is me, Yubi, the ubiquitous newt, also known as the master of romance from Paris to Persia, the cousin of Cupid from Bangkok to Dubai.
Yubi thrashes his tail back and forth like a propeller. He rises out of the water, revealing a plump pot belly, and extends his hands to Tatsu and Aura.
Come, lovebirds, allow me to liberate you from your sticky situation.
Tatsu and Aura grab hold of Yubi. His weight pulls them off the plant. Yubi cannonballs into the floodwater with a splash. Tatsu and Aura do an awkward belly flop on top of each other.
Just for the record, I met this damselfly 5 minutes ago and he won't stop following me.
I am not a damselfly. Various storm-related circumstances brought us together, and I actually have another girl in my life who's a lot more important.
Oh, you do you? How long have you been with this mysterious critter?
All her life. But it's none of your beeswax, and if it wasn't for this storm, I never would have even knew you existed.
The storm. She is volatile, no? Like a scorned lover, she causes great pain, but in the end, it's her powerful embrace that brings us all together.
Tatsu climbs back onto the teddy bear raft.
I gotta find my sweetheart.
Sweetheart?
Tatsu looks around uncomfortable.
Well, good riddance then. Bon voyage. Arrivederci. I hope you and your nice sweetheart find a nice, warm sheet of fly paper to cuddle on.
So I guess this is goodbye.
It is goodbye. So goodbye.
The sound of a love triangle is poetry to my ears. Forgive my arrogance, but I happen to know the swamp as well as I know the spots on my belly.
He reveals the spots on his belly.
If your sweetheart lives, we shall find her. And then we will know which fair maiden will triumph over this triangle of love.
I don't think so, lizard lips.
Suddenly desperate.
Please, Aura, allow me this one trifling indulgence to join new friends on their journey. For left alone, I am doomed a life of, loneliness.
Yubi hoists Aura onto the teddy bear. Tatsu grimaces.
Trust me, this is so not my decision.
He takes hold of the rear of the teddy bear and propels it with his tail. Cut 2. Somewhere in the overcast sky. Skylar flies over neighborhoods that are underwater. Storm survivors sit on their rooftops, stranded. Skylar flies by a family holding a white sheet that reads, "Help us."
The whole world is in trouble. How will I ever find home?
She sings.
I'm lost. Will I ever be found? Please, love, turn my world around. I'm lost and I'm feeling down. Please, love, turn my world around. Please, love, help Luther get found.
Luther,
Skylar turns to find Moskar hovering behind her.
Luther, a friend of yours, I presume.
A swarm of mosquitoes surrounds Skylar. All the color fades from her body.
That's right. He is my friend.
A boyfriend, perhaps?
Yes, a strong, courageous boy.
Lives nearby, maybe?
Yes. I mean, no. Actually, he used to. That is, before he evacuated. I haven't seen him since.
Oscar sniffs the air.
I almost believe you, but I smell something. A smell I haven't smelled since.
Moskar motions for his mosquitoes to attack Skylar. Skylar darts in reverse, remembering Tatsu's flying lessons.
Arrogant displays of flight superiority only intensifies my hatred for dragonflies.
Moskar motions for more mosquitoes to attack from behind. Skylar spins around and chomps a few.
Ugh, I'd still rather eat worms.
Of course you would, while less fortunate dragonflies and other Martians stop.
Skylar darts through the mosquito swarm like a slalom skier.
Commence the skitosonic buzz, my vampiros.
The mosquitoes buzz violently, an antenna-piercing weapon called the skitosonic buzz. Skylar clutches her antenna.
Ah, that sound, it hurts!
Skylar nosedives towards the surface of the water. The mosquitoes give chase. Skylar splashes beneath the surface.
She's fish bait now, my vampiros. Seek and suck the blood of the boy.
The mosquitoes disperse in search of Luther.
The blood is the life. Luther.
Cut to beneath the surface of the floodwater. It is a different world from the one Skylar knew as a nymph. The water is murky with black oil and filled with debris. Skylar sees a large fish-like creature lurking in the mud beneath her. It opens its eyes, frightening her. She bolts above the surface of the floodwater, then jumps out, wheezing. Skylar collapses onto a mud-covered rock and starts to cry.
Forgive me, Luther. I didn't mean to tell them. I'm a bad friend.
The rock suddenly rumbles. 2 holes spew snot into the air like a geyser. Skylar is covered in slime. She screams. The rock rises out of the mud, revealing Muddy, an overweight, homely female mud puppy. She is a giant salamander with low self-esteem. Her body is pink with black polka dots. She has a deep nasal baritone.
Did I hear somebody say friend?
Skylar paddles away in fear. Muddy lifts Skylar out of the water with her pink tail and sniffs her. Skylar trembles. Muddy sneezes. Skylar screams.
I'm sorry, Butterfly. I must have woken up on the wrong side of the mud.
Muddy raises her back foot and chews her toenail. A thick chain is clamped around her tail, grounding her to a rock.
What's that?
Toe jam. Want some?
No. Why is there a chain on your tail?
Oh, this. It's a part of my act. Muddy the Mud Puppy's unsynchronized chain swimming.
Mud puppy? Does that mean you're a baby dog?
Of course not. I've never barked in my life, and I've certainly never had to scratch a flea.
Well, what are you then?
I'm a pink polka-dotted puppy with an affection for mud. And I'll have you know that I'm a reigning, undisputed Miss Marsh Mud Puppy.
Really?
No.
Muddy points up to the zoo sign, which is spelled backwards from her perspective. Ooze.
But in ooze, I'm a star. All the children love me. They howl and cry, tears of joy when they see me, especially the boys.
I had a boy who loved me, but I had to leave him after the storm.
What? You left a perfectly good boy?
He set me free.
That doesn't mean you stopped chasing
I
him.
never chased him. He caught me.
If you really loved him, you'd go back and stalk him.
Muddy, that is so wrong.
Well, maybe just a little.
Muddy, Luther's in serious trouble. The mosquitoes are going to eat him.
All alone with mosquitoes? Does he have a fly
I
swatter?
don't think so.
Well, then we gotta go help him.
Muddy slips her tail out of the chain.
Shh! Don't tell anybody. I laid off the moss and I lost 10 pounds since the holidays.
Muddy poses, showing off her portly figure.
Warning! Dangerous curves ahead! Up on, Butterfly! We can't let a perfectly good boy go to waste.
But what are we going to do about those mosquitoes?
Muddy licks her lips.
What we do every Sunday morning at Hometown Buffet. Chow down.
Muddy places Skylar on top of her head. Skylar's body turns orange with warmth.
What's this boy's name anyway?
Luther.
Dissolved to somewhere in the marsh. Skylar rides on Muddy. The floodwater is filled with oil and trash. Muddy dips her head underwater. Skylar hovers. Muddy comes up with a kid's toilet seat around her neck. Poses.
Like my necklace?
It kind of brings out your eyes. But something's missing.
Skylar lands on a patch of seaweed. She tries to pick it up. Muddy dips her head beneath the surface, then comes up beside Skylar, stroking her fresh, new seaweed beard.
Do I look pretty now? Maybe I should wax it.
Extensions might go better on top of your head, Muddy.
Muddy dips, then comes up, stroking the seaweed on top of her head.
Pageant material yet?
You're Miss Marsh Mud Puppy, gills down.
We hear the sound of sad voices singing in the distance. Muddy and Skylar follow the sound to a fallen oak tree.
Poor tree, she sounds so sad. Should we try to pick her up again?
Muddy nods, then dips underwater. Skylar hovers. The tree begins to rise. Countless insects emerge and flee to the skies. The singing continues. Muddy emerges with the tree on her back.
It's heavy.
Because it's still full of insects.
Skylar flies into an open hole in the tree. Inside the tree, Skylar sees a diverse array of insects, a snail with a cracked shell, a caterpillar feeding her child, and a grasshopper tending to his mother. They are refugees devastated by the storm. Skylar addresses a family of frightened ladybugs.
Have you seen any dragonflies?
The ladybugs remain silent. Skylar loses all hope.
Am I the only one left? Bee fly. I'll never fly through a rainbow.
Skylar hides her eyes and begins to cry. A somber dragonfly crouched in the shadows with familiar blue wings notices her. It is Bee Fly.
Skylar?
Skylar looks up, startled.
Yes, this is me. Who are you?
Bee Fly becomes frightened.
But the jar, in the storm, I left you. You must be a ghost. Here to haunt me?
Bee Fly trembles. Skylar recognizes his voice.
No, Bee fly, don't be afraid. It's really me, Skylar.
Skylar? You're a miracle.
I'm just lucky. Where are all the dragonflies?
Bee Fly shakes his head.
Mom and Dad, Tatsu,
I'm the only one.
all of them gone? Home is gone.
Skylar begins to cry. Bee Fly wraps his wings around her.
Why did I get captured? My wings are weak. It's all my fault.
No, Skylar, you're strong. And we're together now. I promise I'll never let you go again.
He holds Skylar close. He sings like Michael Jackson.
We might not have home. We might even have to roam. But we're together, not alone. Even if the rain keeps falling, even if the sky stays gray, even if the thunder's rumbling, even if the winds won't go away. 'Cause we're flowing with the rhythm of the refugees, everybody grab a friend, stand next to me. We got knocked down, but it's still plain to see that we're rising up again, so follow me.
Bee Fly rallies the refugee insects around Skylar. They join arm in arm.
We celebrate happy times to make it through sad times, together in good times, surviving the bad times. No matter what happens, it'll be you and me, singing rain or shine, till the end of time.
Cut to the other side of the marsh. A sea of rooftops fills the screen. Every home is underwater. The teddy bear raft skims through the neighborhood, propelled by Yubi's tail. Tatsu and Aura sit perched on top. They approach the huge billboard promoting lap band surgery. A telephone pole has fallen against it, and live wires spark directly beneath the woman's supersized derriere.
There it is, the full moon.
That's no moon, snail brain. It's an enlarged gluteus maximus.
Tatsu and Yubi look at Aura perplexed.
Whatever it is, my sis' sweetheart slammed into it, and the boy that captured her lives in the shack beneath it.
Capture?
By a boy?
It's complicated.
Tatsu surveys the area. He sees a multitude of chimneys sticking up above the surface of the floodwater.
I don't care if I have to go down every single one of them. I'm gonna find her.
He points.
Yubi, to the chimney beneath the full moon.
Aye aye, Capitan.
Yubi wags his tail and the teddy bear zips toward the chimney. Along the way, we see the 3 insects from Luther's room, floating inside the same jar. The British beetle, the hairless caterpillar, and the one-legged grasshopper.
Little help over here. This one's mental.
Grasshopper knocks the beetle over.
I'm not with him. He just escaped a health facility.
I will become a butterfly. I will become a butterfly. I will become...
Their voices cannot be heard through the jar. Tatsu, Aura, and Yubi zoom past without noticing them. Tatsu leaps onto the chimney ledge. Aura and Yubi follow. They peer down into the pitch-black darkness. Tatsu's wings tremble. Yubi's teeth chatter. Aura rolls her eyes.
We're gonna need a light.
Negative. I don't think so.
Come on, Aura, this is what you were born to do.
I'm not listening.
You know I'm scared of the dark.
Get over it.
Tatsu looks at Yubi. His teeth continue to chatter. Tatsu lowers his head, discouraged. We hear the sound of a helicopter in the distance. Yubi's ears perk.
Capitan, here's something in the distance.
The crew listens.
Oh, great. The skeeters are back. There goes the neighborhood.
No, it's not the mosquitoes. It's something unrecognizable. Something I never heard before.
The sound of the helicopter thumps louder. The source is hidden behind the overcast sky.
Storm dragon?
The who?
Tatsu's eyes follow the thumping sound of the helicopter.
The mind's eye.
Capitan?
The sound of the helicopter trails off. Tatsu is now filled with courage.
Okay, I'm going down that chimney no matter how dark it is, because the boy that captured my sister lives down there.
Your sister?
Capture?
And it was my fault she got captured.
Capitan, why?
You're a liar, just like all of the rest of them.
Thanks for the understanding. If I don't come back, just know that I really liked you guys. Sort of.
Tatsu closes his eyes.
The mind's eye.
He dives inside the dark chimney.
Skylar!
He splashes into water and floats in the dark, afraid. He sees a bright light at the bottom of the chimney.
The mind's eye?
Tatsu dives beneath the surface. He swims toward the light. Inside a sunken living room, sunlight illuminates the floodwater through the windows. Tatsu swims past family photos, a mother's sundress, a child's baseball glove, then mosquito larvae. He darts up above the surface of the sunken living room. 1,000 hungry mosquitoes surround Tatsu. Moskar emerges from the shadows.
Lost again, son of Pondhawk? But Daddy isn't here to save you this time.
You're lucky my dad isn't here. He'd have you for dinner.
You think killing mosquitoes will cleanse the Mars? Your disregard for your importance is disturbing.
Mosquitoes are only good for one thing, spreading disease.
Population control is a necessary part of life on this small, unnecessary planet.
Tatsu ponders the depth of his statement.
You feed on the innocent.
None of us are innocent. Not even you, Tatsu.
But I'm no bloodsucker.
And for that, I pity you.
He sings softly.
It's in my blood to love the blood.
Moskar's eyes glow bright red. The mosquitoes close on Tatsu.
Luther!
Cut to somewhere over the marsh. Skylar and Bee-Fly glide side by side.
Luther, where are you?
We're gonna find him, Skylar. I know it.
How do you know?
Because you found me, and I thought that was impossible.
Skylar smiles.
Skylar, I have to tell you something very important.
Go ahead, Bee-Fly. You can tell me anything.
Your brother came to me on the night of the storm. He asked me to help him find you.
He did?
I said no. I gave up on you, Skylar, but Tatsu didn't.
Tatsu? What happened to my brother?
I don't know. That was the last time I saw him.
Skylar is silent.
Your father is right about me, Skylar. I'm a coward.
No, you're not. You are a blue hawker dragonfly,
She embraces him.
and you are my favorite dragonflyer in the marsh.
Without warning, a sparrowhawk pierces the space between them. Skylar tumbles toward the surface of the floodwater. Bee-Fly somersaults, then regains his balance.
We got an unidentified inbound bogey, and it is big. Blue Hucker, B-Fly is going supersonic.
Bee-Fly dives full speed at Skylar. He extends his tail and grabs hold of her. Skylar is unconscious. The sparrowhawk dives toward them, claws extended. Bee-Fly accelerates in reverse. Skylar opens her eyes.
Why are we flying backwards?
I'm perfecting my moonwalk.
The sparrowhawk screams.
What was that?
What was that? I didn't hear anything.
The sparrowhawk screams again. Skylar spots it. The hawk opens its mouth wide, ready to chomp.
We're done!
I'm gonna hit the brakes and she'll fly right by.
Bee-Fly stops abruptly in midair. The sparrowhawk screams by. The bird's draft sends Bee-Fly and Skylar into a somersault. In the floodwater down below, we see the tip of Muddy's snout skimming along the surface. She launches into the air and barks at the hawk, deep and scary like a Doberman pinscher. The hawk bolts in the opposite direction. Muddy grins.
I can't believe it. My inner dog was hiding all this time.
Skylar and Bee-Fly tumble into a thicket of eucalyptus. They come to a stop in each other's arms.
Not a bad landing, if I do say so myself.
Muddy, you're my hero.
Really? I mean,
Muddy howls like a coyote.
that bird is lucky I'm vegan. It would have been another story if she was flying tofu croquette.
Skylar and Bee-Fly look at each other puzzled.
Are you two going together now?
Skylar and Bee-Fly blush. Cut to, back inside the flooded house. Tatsu is under attack by mosquitoes. Unable to fly, he hops around on pieces of debris, dodging the relentless swarm. Moskar orchestrates the frenzy, singing, "It's in my blood to love the blood." Tatsu bats mosquitoes with his tail and devours as many as he can. Moskar sneak attacks, slamming Tatsu against the living room window. He grabs a mosquito and raises its stinger to Tatsu's eye.
You cannot win, Dragonfly. I am immortal.
I'm not questioning your immortalness. I'm just looking for that boy, you know, the one who stole my sister.
A boy. I've heard about boys. They trap insects in jars, show them off to their friends, and their blood is almost as tasty as girls.
Yes, I know what he did to my sister.
So why then would you risk your life to find him?
Because I figure wherever he is, my sister can't be far away.
Perhaps you seek vengeance for the kidnapping of your sister?
Tatsu nods.
I can help you with this. I know where he is. We can be a team.
A team.
Imagine dragonflies and mosquitoes in a symbiotic relationship for the first time in history.
You mean we'd be partners in crime?
Precisely. I'll donate as many mosquitoes as you need, stingers included, of course, to draw the insidious little ballad-singing brat's blood.
You think my dad will forgive me for the whole lost sister thing then?
I'll more than forgive you. I think he'll be proud.
Through the window behind Tatsu, a bright orange torpedo crashes through. It is Yubi wielding a sharp rock. A tidal wave of floodwater crashes over Tatsu and Moskar. Yubi lassos Tatsu with his tail and reels him in. Cut to the surface of the floodwater. Tatsu and Yubi punch through, gasping for air. Aura pulls Tatsu onto the teddy bear.
Back again, my little damselfly in distress. This is becoming a pattern with you.
Tatsu coughs up water and a mosquito pops out. Aura spots a eucalyptus tree.
Head for that stinky bush, Yubi.
Aye, aye, Capitan Ora.
Yubi whips his tail into high gear. The teddy bear zooms toward the eucalyptus. Tatsu regains his bearings. He spots Luther floating on his raft, swarmed by mosquitoes. Luther swats at the mosquitoes with Papa Otis's broken guitar.
That's him. That's the boy who captured my sister.
You mean that little chubster falling off the raft?
We see Luther lose his balance and fall into the water.
Yubi, change course. To the chubster.
Aye, aye, Capitan Tatsu. Chubster ho!
Yubi whips his tail. The teddy bear speeds toward Luther. Luther coughs, spits, and swims his way toward a nearby rooftop. The mosquitoes swarm around his head relentlessly. Tatsu and Aura watch Luther from a distance.
He looks kind of dead.
And I don't see my sister.
The sound of the mosquito-sonic buzz approaches from behind. It is Moskar leading a swarm of angry mosquitoes.
Moskar.
He must be attracted to your dragon breath. What do we do now, Capitan?
Clutches his antenna.
That noise.
His eyes glaze over, hypnotized. He falls to his knees. She shakes him.
Tatsu, did you hear me? Mosquitoes off the port bow.
The mosquitoes surround the teddy bear and attack Tatsu. Aura swats at them.
Yubi, help!
Yubi laps up the mosquitoes with his tongue. Aura grabs hold of Tatsu. He is lifeless.
Tatsu, what's wrong? Speak.
Tatsu wiggles his antenna.
Your antenna. What about him?
The mosquito-sonic buzz gets louder. Tatsu collapses.
Oh, I get it. It's the noise. You're getting buzzed.
Aura digs her hand into the teddy bear and pulls out stuffing. She dips it in the water and then wraps it around Tatsu's antenna. She fakes sign language.
Me, Aura. You, Tatsu.
Tatsu awakens from the trance.
Oh, that was intense.
It worked.
Thanks, Aura. You killed their buzz.
Buzz kill. Locks out even the peskiest mosquito buzz.
Another swarm of mosquitoes approaches.
More skeeters, 12 o'clock.
Tatsu stands tall, evoking the image of his father. He sees Luther splashing in the distance.
Yubi, maintain course to the eucalyptus. Aura, assume command of the teddy boat. Blue Darner Tatsu is going airborne.
Tatsu closes his eyes and focuses his energy into his wings.
The mind's eye.
His wings begin to flutter, his body rises.
The mind's eye.
Tatsu takes flight and struggles with damaged wings toward Luther. The mosquitoes follow.
The captain is so brave. Somebody in his veins would be French blood.
Yay, my hero. Am I supposed to clap or something?
At the nearby rooftop, Luther pulls himself out of the water onto the roof. Tatsu watches from above. There is no sign of Skylar.
I'm sorry, Skylar. I thought I could save you. I failed again.
Tatsu's body loses all color.
Yes, son of Pondhawk, you have failed.
Tatsu turns to find Moskar above him.
You've lost the seed of your kingdom. Thank you, Tatsu.
Moskar slams into Tatsu's injured wings. Tatsu falls out of the sky and plunges beneath the surface of the floodwater. Tatsu sinks, unconscious, near death. He has a vision. The image of Manta Z appears. She draws the blades of a helicopter onto a muddy shore.
Remember the storm dragon. Open your mind's eye.
A fiery sun appears behind the helicopter blades. The blades begin to spin, creating a kaleidoscope of images and sounds. The face of his father, the Pondhawk, appears. A council of elder dragonflies hovers behind him.
He is afraid.
He will never lead us.
He's just a daydreamer, Darner.
Tatsu looks into the eyes of Pondhawk, disheartened.
I'm sorry, Dad. I was jealous of Skylar. I didn't protect her. It was my fault she got captured. I lost the seat of our kingdom.
Never give up, Tatsu. You're my son. You're the Pondhawk.
A ray of sunlight beams through the floodwater and shines on Tatsu. He swims toward the sunlight. His wings begin to glow. His antennae grow strong. His body turns green, full of life. On the surface of the floodwater, Tatsu smashes through, spiraling through the air like a twister.
I am the Pondhawk.
Tatsu sees Luther on top of the roof, swatting at mosquitoes. Moskar hovers above, leading them. Luther trips and falls, hitting his head on the chimney. He lay unconscious.
Did you hear that, Moskar? I am the Pondhawk.
Yes, Tatsu, I hear you. But sadly, your evolution has come millions of years too late. I, Moskar the Immortal, rule the marsh now.
Points at Tatsu.
Vampiro suck the daydream and down or dry.
The mosquitoes leave Luther and attack Tatsu. Tatsu hits the afterburners, flying directly at them.
Tatsu is supersonic.
The mosquitoes reveal stingers. Tatsu turns on dragon vision.
Engaging multiple skeeters in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
An aerial dogfight ensues. Tatsu chomps with new strength.
Tatsu has a visual on 3 skeeters left, 10 right, 20 more coming from behind.
Moskar swoops behind Tatsu.
Have you now?
He tries to sting him until...
Hey, Scarface!
Moskar turns to see Bee-Fly approaching like a missile.
B-Fly has Dragon Lock.
He slams into Moskar, knocking him away from Tatsu.
B-Fly, you're back.
I couldn't leave my wingman.
They tap wings and embrace.
It's time to get brotherlicious.
They pump their wings in unison, creating a powerful gust. The mosquitoes that surround them are blown away. At the eucalyptus tree, Aura and Yubi are outnumbered 1,000 to 1. The mosquitoes knock Aura into the water. Yubi swims to help her. The mosquitoes swarm his eyes.
The mosquitoes sting worse than broken promises.
Yubi begins to sink until a massive wave erupts from beneath him. It is muddy, shooting out of the water like a killer whale. Skylar rides on her back, rodeo style. Yahoo! They scoop up Aura and Yubi and soar through the air. Muddy lands back in the water, creating a huge tidal wave that devours the swarm of mosquitoes. Tatsu and Bee-Fly arrive on the scene.
Skylar, you're so beautiful.
Skylar blushes.
I can't believe it, you're alive.
I'm sorry I got captured, big brother.
No, Skylar, it was my fault. I pushed you too hard. I was jealous of how much everyone loved you. I'm a terrible big brother.
You came back for me, Tatsu. That makes you the best big brother.
Skylar embraces Tatsu. On the surface of the floodwater, Moskar watches the crew with blood-red eyes.
Dinner will be served at sunset, and Luther is the main course.
He floats away with the rest of the mosquitoes.
That's right, bloodsuckers, keep running.
And why don't you bite me while you're at it?
Yubi flips the mosquitoes the French bird with his fist. Skylar sees Luther. She darts to him.
Luther, what have they done to you, my poor little boy?
She listens for his breath.
Can you hear me, Luther? It's me, Meadowhawk.
Luther remains silent.
You didn't deserve this. You've helped so many of us. We still need you, Luther. Please come back.
Luther does not respond. Skylar begins to cry.
We never got the chance to fly together.
She sings softly.
Some likes it smooth, some likes it crunchy, you likes it creamy.
Bee-Fly, Aura, and Yubi stand on Muddy's back, watching sympathetically. Tatsu looks on, annoyed.
What's gotten into you, Skylar? That boy put you in a jar. Leave him be. Humans no longer deserve our help.
No, Tatsu. Luther kept me safe through the storm, and after it passed, he set me free.
She whirs her wings over Luther's face.
If you can hear me, Luther, I love you.
Skylar kisses his cheek, then hops onto Muddy. The crew take her in their arms. Behind them, Luther slowly opens his eyes. He sings softly.
Oh, that sounds so dreamy.
Skylar turns and stares in disbelief. She whirs her wings, then flies back to Luther.
Meadowhawk, you came back for me?
Skylar whirs her wings tenderly. Luther closes his eyes and drifts out of consciousness. Skylar snuggles his cheek.
You are my family now, Luther.
That boy is not our family, Skylar. Come on, it's time to go home.
I won't leave him.
Yes, you will.
Bee-Fly steps up to Tatsu.
You sound just like your dad.
Don't ever say that.
But it's true.
Tatsu grits his teeth, defensive.
Luther has music in him, and that makes him family enough for me.
The storm brought us together for a reason, Tatsu.
Looks at the crew.
It makes us all family.
Tatsu is not convinced.
I'm staying here to protect us.
I'll sacrifice my tail to protect us.
Ah, such a perfectly shaped tail.
Whatever.
The sound of a helicopter approaches from behind the clouds.
Capitan, I hear the strange sound again in the distance.
Mosquitoes?
Bring it on! I'm hungry for dessert.
That's not mosquitoes. It's the storm dragon.
The who?
Your brother developed an imaginary friend in your absence. I have an imaginary friend, too.
The storm dragon is real. Mantasy told me he would help us. She said I'd find you beneath his wings, Skylar.
If the storm dragon can help us, maybe he can help Luther too.
The sound of the helicopter thumps directly above, vibrating their bodies and rattling their brains. Bee-Fly pulls Skylar close. Yubi grabs hold of Muddy's snout. Tatsu reaches to protect Aura. She elbows him in the gut. The sound of the helicopter fades into the distance.
Why did he fly away?
My imaginary friend usually comes back.
If the storm dragon understands anything about love, then he will always come back.
Get real. Your flying lizard is never coming back.
All eyes turn to Tatsu. He gazes into the horizon, contemplating the magnitude of what just occurred.
I'd say we've got until the end of the hour before Mascara and those mutant skeeters come back for blood. Are you really ready to risk your lives for this boy?
The crew exchange a nod, acknowledging that they will be there for each other no matter what.
Okay then, you crazy critters, let's get started. Muddy, use your teeth to snap and grind eucalyptus leaves. Yubi, use your tail to smash those leaves into mush. Bee-Fly, spread that mush all over Luther's body until he stinks so bad you can't stand it.
Bee-Fly taps wings with Tatsu.
Brotherlicious.
Skylar, you're coming with me.
Where?
We're going shadow dancing.
Skylar's eyes light up.
What about me?
Tatsu takes Aura by the hand.
Your job is most important of all. We need your light to signal the storm dragon.
Aura pulls away.
It's so not cool to put me on the spot like this.
But if you don't light up, then the storm dragon won't come. And if the storm dragon doesn't come, then we can't save Luther.
Aura crosses her arms.
I believe in you, Aura. I know you can light up.
Nope. Sorry.
If we don't work together, none of us are gonna make it.
I don't care about us.
Your family needs you.
Don't even go there. You're just a bunch of strangers.
That's enough.
Fine.
She turns and takes flight. The crew sadly watch her disappear into the horizon.
Why wouldn't she light up, Tatsu?
I'm not sure.
I think she's got a couple screws loose.
The light was most likely extinguished by a sworn lover.
Someone must have hurt her really bad then.
I know why she left.
All eyes go to Muddy.
She left because of me. It was my fault. Everybody always leaves because of me.
She begins to cry.
No one wants to be around an ugly mud puppy.
But what about the children at the zoo? They all loved you, especially the boys.
No, they didn't. I lied. I never had a boyfriend in my life.
She sobs.
They all laughed at me. They threw things at me. The peanut M&Ms are the worst.
Maybe they were trying to feed you?
The Skittles left knots on my head. They hated me, especially the boys.
Ah, but young boys know nothing about the beauty of a lizard.
Stop trying to make me feel better. I know I'm ugly. I see my reflection in the water every day.
Muddy breaks down. She turns away, hiding her face from the crew. Skylar tries to console her, but Muddy pushes her away. The crew turns to Tatsu, unsure of what to do. Tatsu composes himself, then approaches Muddy tenderly.
Muddy, the reason we love you is because of something more important than anything we see.
Muddy continues to cry.
You took care of my sister when no one else would. You had faith when there was every reason to have doubt.
Muddy stops crying for a moment and listens.
Your beauty comes from your heart, Muddy, and that's why we love you.
Tatsu hugs Muddy. The rest of the crew looks on lovingly. Tatsu composes himself, then extends his wing.
All wings in.
Bee-Fly places his wing on Tatsu's.
Blue Hawker Bee-Fly in.
Skylar places her wing on top of Bee-Fly's.
Saffron-winged Meadowhawk Skylar, in.
Yubi places his tail on Skylar's wing.
The ubiquitous newt Yubi Pamoir.
Muddy's tail lifts the crew out of the water.
I don't have a good code name.
You're Muddy the Mud Puppy.
Muddy the Brave.
Muddy, our friend.
Muddy mi amor.
I love you, cute little critters.
Together, we're the Swamp Squad, a gorgeous mud puppy, a ubiquitous newt, a brave blue hawker, and a dragonfly princess. We're different critters from different parts of the marsh, but we share the same dream. To help a boy make it through the night because no critter gets left behind.
They all cheer.
Now repeat after me. Skeeters bite, Swamp Squad fight.
They look at each other, united as one.
Skeeters bite, Swamp Squad fight!
They raise their wings and tails, forming the Swamp Squad crest. It is the same shape as Mantisee's helicopter blades. Dissolved to the overcast sky above the marsh. Tatsu and Skylar fly wing to wing over their submerged homeland. It is a ghost town, ominously silent. They pass unknowingly by the jar full of Luther's nutty insects. The one-legged grasshopper hops on one leg, waving his toothpick in desperation. The caterpillar bangs his head against the glass, while the British beetle rubs his hairy backside against it, mooning them. Tatsu and Skylar do not notice them.
Why did all this have to happen, Tatsu?
We'll never know why. We just have to be thankful that we're alive. No critter has ever escaped a jar. You're special, Skylar. One of a kind. Your wings are strong, and I'm proud of you, sis.
She nods humbly.
I'm just thankful that you let me fly with you again, big brother.
We're gonna make it through this. I know it.
Skylar spots the branches of a maple tree sticking up above the surface of the water.
Tatsu, look, a maple tree!
You think there could be dragonflies in it?
I hope so.
At the maple tree, Tatsu and Skylar leap from branch to branch but find no survivors. They come upon a large spiral spider web, weathered but still intact.
How did it survive the storm?
Tatsu examines the intricacies of the web.
Each one of these strings are separate, but somehow they all stay connected.
He points.
This one up here is connected to this one all the way down here at the bottom. That's how the web survived.
Skylar nods. They dart around the web together, admiring its perfection.
I have an idea.
Cut to the sky above the marsh. Tatsu and Skylar carry the spider web through the air. They see survivors of the storm stranded on the rooftops.
Do you think Mom and Dad are okay?
I'm not sure, but I know Dad led a lot of dragonflies away from the storm.
You're a lot like him, you know that?
Really? I've been trying so hard not to be.
Why? He always took care of us.
No, he took care of the dragonflies.
They spot the garbage dump down below. It swarms with millions of bloodthirsty mutant mosquitoes.
There they are. Moscar's Skeetosonic Boot Camp. It smells like a baby diaper.
There's so many of them, Tatsu. I'm afraid.
So am I.
Cut to exterior of the garbage dump. Mosquitoes blanket the surface. They dance in a frenzy, buzzing and bouncing off each other like angry goth rockers. Moscar perches on his baby diaper and raises his arms. The mosquitoes calm down and listen.
They call us bloodsuckers. They say we spread disease. But wasn't it Mother Nature who made us the single most perfect being of all time? More ancient than all of the other ancient pests. The fly, the flea, the tick, the termite, even the cockroach.
The mosquitoes cheer.
Yes, vampiros, I feel it too. The intimate bond between us. The battle is not just for the marsh. It is for the haters who swat at us, for the campers who spray DEET on us, for the housewives who buy outdoor zappers. For most of all, the battle is for every low-living swamp critter who wants even bullied by an arrogant, Top Gun wannabe dragonfly. When the storm comes, we come, and we rule.
The mosquitoes roar. Moscar hushes them once more and sings a ballad.
I am a child of the storm, why I was born. Not of the norm, my heart is torn. A child of the storm.
The mosquitoes erupt, buzzing in praise. Cut to exterior swamp squad camp. Beneath a willow tree, Luther barely hangs on. The crew tends to him. Bee-fly fans Luther's face with his wings. Yubi cuddles beneath Luther's chin. Muddy massages Luther's swollen feet. In the sky, Tatsu and Skylar returns carrying the spider web. They attach it to the branches of the willow tree above Luther. Cut to exterior garbage dump. Moscar waltzes through the air carrying a baby mosquito larva in his hands.
All I ever wanted was to be a father to my baby vampiros, to bring the freshest blood to their stingers.
He sings.
But I'm a child of the storm, not of the norm. My heart is torn. Why I was born a child of the storm.
The mosquitoes sharpen their stingers. They smear war paint on each other's faces. They fence with one another using their stingers as swords. Cut to exterior swamp squad camp. Luther remains asleep, taking in shallow breaths. Skylar touches her wing to his forehead, checking for fever. She massages eucalyptus over his mosquito bites. Muddy chews up sour eucalyptus leaves, then spits at Yubi. Yubi catches the spit with his tail and mashes it on the ground into goop. Tatsu and Bee-Fly scoop up the goop with their wings, then spray the natural mosquito repellent all over Luther. Back at the garbage dump, Moscar rallies the mosquitoes into the sky. He sings like Ozzy Osbourne.
When I look at my reflection, what do I see? Blinding visions, superstitions, visions of bipolarity!
A storm of mosquitoes fills the sky, buzzing their skeeto-sonic buzz. Tears well in Moscar's eyes. Cut to exterior Swamp Squad camp. Tatsu wraps Bee-Fly's antenna with strands of the spiderweb.
What are you doing? I can't hear a thing.
Exactly. It's our only defense against the skeeto-sonic buzz. It was Aura's idea.
The crew reflects compassionately.
I hope she comes back. Luther will be in the dark all night if she doesn't.
No, the boy does not have to lay in the dark. Remember the full moon?
Full moon?
The big, plump, round, luscious full moon that guided us to all this place?
Oh, you mean the full moon.
Cut to exterior billboard promoting lap band surgery. We see the woman's supersized derriere, also known as the full moon. Live wires still spark from the telephone pole directly beneath it. Down below, the Swamp Squad sits on top of Muddy. They look amazed at the sparking live wires. Tatsu and Bee-Fly hold a pine needle between them.
You ready to get brotherlicious?
This is dangerlicious. I don't think it's worth it, Bee-Fly.
Just follow my lead. I got this one.
They dart with the pine needle up to the live wires. Bee-Fly ignites it with the sparks.
It's too hot, Bee-Fly.
Just a little bit closer.
The tip of the pine needle touches the live wire. Sparks explode. Bee-Fly is zapped. He falls out of the sky. Tatsu dives for him.
Bee-Fly!
On the surface of the floodwater, Bee-Fly floats unconscious. Tatsu swoops down and takes him in his arms.
Talk to me, Bee-Fly. Talk to me.
Bee-Fly remains lifeless. Muddy scoops him up with her tail.
Do something, Tatsu!
Tatsu shakes Bee-Fly, but he does not respond.
Please, Bee-Fly, come back. I can't live without you, brother.
Bee-Fly's eyes pop open, suddenly awake.
So this is what it took. I've been waiting for you to call me brother since we were nymphs at the bottom of the pond.
Tatsu hugs Bee-Fly.
I'm sorry, Bee-Fly. I didn't think I had to say it, but now I know that I do, brother.
Skylar joins in the hug, creating a Bee-Fly sandwich.
Did I mention you're my heroes?
We hear the sound of the mosquito-sonic buzz approaching.
Capitan, the mosquitoes, they are near.
Swamp Squad, all wings in.
The crew connects wings and tails, forming the Swamp Squad crest.
Skeeters bite! Swamp Squad fight!
Cut to exterior Swamp Squad camp. The crew take their battle stations around Luther. UB scoops up eucalyptus goop with his tail. Skylar scoops it up with her wings. They cock their bodies like catapults. Muddy hides in the mud beneath the surface of the floodwater. Tatsu and Bee-Fly circle Luther, holding the twig they lit with the sparking wires. They ignite small piles of the eucalyptus leaves that surround him. Smoke billows into the sky.
This should get that storm dragon's attention.
Or at least keep Skeeters off Luther until he shows up.
Tatsu and Bee-Fly perch on the willow tree and take hold of the spiderweb. In the blood-red sunset, thousands upon thousands of angry mosquitoes approach, buzzing the skeeto-sonic buzz. Moscar leads the charge and sings.
It's in our blood to love the blood, it's in our eyes to paralyze, and it's in the lives of the dragonflies.
The mosquitoes dive toward Luther. On the ground, Yubi swings his tail, launching eucalyptus goop into the air.
Viva la goop!
The first wave of mosquitoes falls. Skylar flaps her wings, spraying eucalyptus shrapnel.
For Luther!
The second wave of mosquitoes is paralyzed. A third wave of mosquitoes approaches along the surface of the floodwater. Muddy pops up and devours them all.
Bow
Nice.
wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay. Muddy puppy definitely in the hose.
A fourth wave of mosquitoes closes in on Luther from above. Tatsu and Bee-Fly dive from the willow tree with the spider web extended like a fishing net.
Target is in sight. Lock in Dragon Vision.
Roger that, I've got Dragon Lock.
Take it supersonic on my mark. 3, 2, 1, go!
They troll the sky, catching one mosquito after another until the web is full.
First catch of the day.
Fish bait.
They release the web, it sinks into the floodwater. A school of fish have a feeding frenzy like starving piranha.
Brotherlicious.
Dissolve to nighttime on the marsh montage. Our heroes are outnumbered 1,000 to 1. Yubi slings goop, Skylar sprays shrapnel, Muddy snaps her jaws, Tatsu and Bee-Fly engage in amazing aerial dogfights. But the mosquitoes are relentless. Luther is left helpless. Moscar lands on Luther's big round belly. He hops around in slow motion, like Neil Armstrong conquering the moon, sings mockingly.
Some likes it smooth, some likes it crunchy.
Moscar bursts into insane laughter. He snatches 2 mosquitoes from the air.
You'll be spreading it with jelly. I be putting it in your belly.
He prepares to insert their stingers into Luther's flesh. He screams.
Peanut butter and ice cream.
Skylar dive bombs into Moskar.
Leave my friend alone!
Moskar grabs her antenna and pins her down.
I actually despise peanut butter. Jelly was fine on its own.
Tatsu, bee-fly!
They are swarmed by mosquitoes.
Hang tight, Skylar.
Moskar presses a stinger to Skylar's heart.
Now, Dragonfly Princess, join your beloved Luther in blood.
Step off my sister.
Tatsu slams into Moskar, knocking him onto Luther's chest. Tatsu takes Skylar in his arms.
Are you still with me, sis?
Right here, big brother.
Bee-fly, look after Skylar.
Bee-fly takes Skylar in his arms.
With pleasure, brother. Show that old fossil who rules the marsh.
Bee-fly flies Skylar to safety. On Luther's chest, Tatsu and Moskar face off.
What happened to you, Tatsu? You were so close to accepting the inconvenient truth.
What truth is that, bloodsucker?
That mankind is doomed to destroy itself. And they want to take nature with them.
They're not all bad. It's the selfish ones who are to blame, and the ones who crave power like you.
Power? Moi? My vampiric ambition pales in comparison to the world's domination carried out by man? Look around. Everything these humans create is assault on nature. They are the enemy, not us.
What does all that have to do with this boy?
He is in our home. His blood is our blood.
His name is Luther, and he's my sister's friend. That makes him a boy worth saving.
Is he a boy worth dying for?
Moskar raises his arms and 1,000 angry mosquitoes swarm. Tatsu whirs his wings, ready for action.
Vampiros, swarm!
The mosquitoes attack, covering Tatsu like a blanket. He falls to his knees. Moskar tears the buzzkill webbing off Tatsu's antenna.
Commence the skidosconic buzz.
The mosquitoes buzz louder than before. The sound tortures Tatsu. He looks to the night sky for hope.
Storm Dragon, where are you? We need you.
Moskar grabs hold of Tatsu's antenna and twists. Tatsu's eyes roll back into his head.
Storm is the dragon, Tatsu. It came to help us, the mosquito.
Tatsu notices a flickering light in the dark sky. He reaches out to it.
Storm Dragon.
The flickering light bursts like firework into the shape of an enormous dragonfly. The mosquitoes freeze in fear. The enormous dragonfly closes in, revealing thousands of glowing fireflies. They are led by Aura. Her light flickers on and off as she strains to keep it lit.
Aura, you lit up. I knew you could do it.
Fear not, vampiros. There are only fireflies, candles for our feast. Attack, the blood is the life.
The fireflies clash with the mosquitoes, knocking them out of the sky. They swirl around Luther's body, creating a landing pad for the storm dragon. Tatsu digs his tail into Moskar's spine. Moskar winces, then throttles Tatsu's neck. Aura hovers above them.
Once again, my damselfly is in distress.
I guess some things never change.
I changed. I went back to the fireflies. I told the survivors we needed their help, and they all came. Because you were right, Tatsu. We are family.
That's great news. Now, a little help, baby.
Oh, help, right.
Aura attacks Moskar, burning his face with her light. He releases Tatsu and grabs hold of her.
Now you know why children feel the dark?
He twists Aura's light bulb. She shrieks, her light flickers, then dies.
Aura, no.
Moskar releases Aura. She falls upon Luther's chest, lifeless. Tatsu darts toward Aura. Moskar buzzes his skitosonic buzz, more powerful than any other mosquito. Tatsu is paralyzed. He sings.
It is in my blood to love the blood. It is in my eyes to hypnotize and paralyze all dragonflies.
Moskar pounces on Tatsu and stings him in the belly. Tatsu screams. He collapses onto Luther's chest next to Aura. Moskar raises his wings in victory. Tatsu looks around, dazed. He sees Skylar and Bee-Fly surrounded. Muddy and Yubi are covered with stingers. Swarms of mosquitoes chase the fireflies into the sky. Tatsu struggles toward Aura.
Aura, I'm sorry I doubted you.
Aura doesn't respond. Tatsu lowers his head onto Luther's heart in defeat. We hear the sound of Luther's heartbeat.
Luther, I hear you. You're not alone.
Moskar positions his stinger over Luther's heart.
Yes, I hear you too. The sound of blood pumping. Let it flow, let it flow.
On the surface of the floodwater, Yubi's ears perk.
Capitan, the strange sound. She is back.
The sound of the helicopter returns. A blinding white light beams down from the clouds directly above Luther, illuminating his body. Moskar shakes his fist in anger.
This is my blood. My blood!
The sound of the helicopter becomes deafening. Mighty wings blast thousands of mosquitoes into the darkness. On the surface of the floodwater, the wind blows even harder. Skylar, Bee-Fly, and Yubi huddle behind Muddy, holding onto her gills for dear life. On Luther's chest, Tatsu is blinded by the beam of light.
The mind's eye. Storm Dragon, it's you.
Tatsu hooks his tail into Luther's t-shirt, anchoring himself. Moskar staggers around in the wind. Tatsu grabs hold of Aura's lifeless body.
I got you, Aura. I won't ever let go.
Moskar grabs hold of Tatsu's wings.
Neither will I.
The winds gust violently. Moskar struggles, then loses his grip. He tumbles into the darkness.
The blood is the life.
The beam of light intensifies on Luther's body. Luther opens his eyes. He hears the sound of a gentle voice.
You made it, Luther. You survived the storm.
Mama? Is that you?
Yes, Luther, it is. I'm right here with you.
But
You're gonna be all right, Luther. Mama loves you.
I love you too, Mom.
A rope ladder descends toward Luther.
Don't be afraid, Luther. Your papa's right here.
Papa Otis?
A human hand reaches out from the light. Luther takes hold. The wind stops blowing. The marsh is suddenly calm. Luther is lifted up into the light. Tatsu hugs Aura tight.
We did it, Aura. Luther is safe.
He flies away, carrying her in his arms. Luther is engulfed by the light, then disappears into the clouds. The sound of the helicopter fades away. On the surface of the floodwater, Skylar, Bee-Fly, Yubi, and Muddy are mesmerized, having witnessed a miracle.
Tatsu's dream came true. The storm dragon was real. But where did it take Luther?
Luther's going home, Skylar. And so are we.
In the sky, the fireflies circle Tatsu and Aura, lighting their path into the night. Dissolved to sunrise over the marsh. Rescue crews patrol Luther's neighborhood in motorboats. Paramedics assist injured refugees. On the surface of the floodwater, the jar full of Luther's nutty insects floats idly. The British beetle and the one-legged grasshopper sit slouched beside each other. They have given up.
Strange destiny. I survived the hurricane only to die in jar next to hairy-back beetle.
Life is what it is. I've accepted my place in the universe. Why can't you?
The grasshopper rips out a handful of the beetle's back hair.
Ah!
The hand of a child pulls the jar out of the floodwater, then raises it to eye level, revealing Luther.
They made it! My patient survived!
Luther looks over his shoulder at Papa Otis.
Papa Otis, my critters survived the storm!
Well, I'll be. Them critters deserve some good old-fashioned peanut butter ice cream.
Papa Otis puts his harmonica to his lips and plays the peanut butter ice cream tune. Luther opens the jar and places it on dry ground. The one-legged grasshopper limps out like a wounded soldier, leaning on the shoulder of the British beetle.
Forever friends.
Luther kneels down and looks into the jar. He sees a cocoon and thinks it is the dead body of the hairless caterpillar.
Ah, too bad you didn't make it, little caterpillar.
Suddenly, a bright orange monarch butterfly emerges from the jar. It flutters past Luther's face.
A monarch butterfly, my hairless caterpillar, metamorphosized.
The monarch butterfly flies into the sky, where a squadron of dragonflies and fireflies fly together along the surface of the peaceful stream. They are led by Tatsu and Aura. Aura has a bandage around her light bulb.
Ori to Pondhawk. Ori to Pondhawk. Visual scanning. I spot skeeter-free skies and the clouds are pink. It's a perfect day to fly.
He smiles.
Roger that, Aura. Pondhawk has a visual. Clear skies ahead. Let's go home.
We see the stream down below. Yubi rides on Muddy's back.
Au revoir, my friends. Fighting is such sweet sorrow. But for every goodbye, there is a hello. And the possibility for the new chapter is the book of love.
She blushes.
Oh, stop. How many lizards have heard that line before?
Yubi winks at Muddy, then grabs onto her gills. They dive beneath the surface of the floodwater. At the rear of the Swamp Squad formation, Skylar and Bee-Fly fly side by side.
They say the darkest hour comes just before dawn, Skylar. And we made it to sunrise. You still glad you jumped out of that stream to join us dragonflyers?
Everything is still big out here, that's for sure. And the sky never ends. But for some reason I don't feel lost anymore.
You don't?
Because we're together now, Bee-Fly. We're found.
Skylar and Bee-Fly lean in and kiss for the first time. A rainbow forms in front of them, and they fly through. The end.